All right, first up this afternoon, South Carolina Gamecocks. With the win today, they advance to next weekend's third round in Greensboro. We're joined today by head coach Don Staley and student athletes Aliyah Boston and Beal. Coach, if you would, please make an opening statement.
Just want to say that Miami was a very competitive game. We knew coming in they were a really hot team, and we want to just do our best to disrupt and not give them, open looks because of how hot they were from an offensive side of the ball. And also just want to, I want to thank our fans for creating an environment that's second to none across this country. And just hats off to our players who have fought so very hard getting to this place. And it's not an easy place to get, but they find a way to win, and I'm proud of them for that.
We'll open up for questions for the student athletes at this time. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. David's got the first one.
Aliyah and Brea, if you could each take this one. The defense today, just what did y'all do anything different to try to get them in and knock them off their rhythm? Since, as Coach said, they came in shooting about 40% from the field, and y'all took that out.
Yeah, I mean, coming into a game, our goal is always to disrupt, and I think our defense did a great job of that. We were very dialed in. We made sure that we were focused on the scout, and we knew what everyone was doing, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely would hammer on that, too. We definitely took advantage of the scout, made sure we knew everybody that was on that scout, from what they do best, what they do worse, and we made sure, no matter who we play, just exploit.
Augusta?
Hey, this is for both of y'all. I wanted to ask about playing with Camilla. Two things. One, just her performance today, how good was it to see her play as well as she did? And then two, I've noticed that she smiles a lot while she's playing, and I wanted to ask, as her teammate, what plays into her joy while she's on the floor?
Brea, you want to take that first?
I think she just naturally is a giggly person. I would say in practice she could turn the ball over and just laugh and say sorry. And she's just uplifting, and I just love that about her because it gets me going too. It's just a happy joy for her.
I agree. Camilla is always a very happy person, and today she played really well. Coach had been telling her to just shoot the ball, and she did a great job of that tonight, and I'm really proud of her.
Cam?
Leah, out of the 26 straight double-doubles, this seemed like it might have been the hardest today in terms of how much Miami was really attacking you in the paint defensively. What did you learn about the way that teams might try to look at you in the rest of the tournament that you can try to combat in the next couple games?
I learned that I just need to continue to be patient with myself because I got a little frustrated tonight, but it's all right. I still try to do what I could on defense and make sure I rebound the ball and put my energy into something else, and I still got it, so yay, thank God.
Mike?
For both y'all, I mean, being in a situation like this where, yesterday you guys put up, I think, what was it, or 2 days ago, you put up 80-something points, wherever it was, and then today, more so of a slugfest defensively. What does that say about your team, though, in being able to find different ways to win, knowing that throughout the rest of this tournament, you guys are going to be in situations where maybe the defense has to step up a little bit more of the offense?
Mm-hmm.
Aliyah?
Yeah, I think as we play each game, I think teams are going to play us differently, and we're going to be able to knock down shots, and then if they step out, we're going to attack the basket, and we're just going to keep them on their heels.
Brea?
Yeah, I think, again, just continuing to trust our shot. We happened to, miss a few more than usual the past 2 games. So just continuing to trust our shot, trust our play within each other, and it'll take us a long way.
Corey?
Aliyah, to secure that 26 straight double-double, you had to knock down those 2 free throws there with about a minute 15-ish to go in the game. Was there any pressure when you stepped to the stripe there, or was that not even in your brain when you were taking those 2 free throws? Just kind of take us into that moment a little bit mentally for you.
Well, I really just tried to knock the free throws down because I missed the ones before, so it wasn't really, knock these down, you get double-double. It's kind of like, can we make a free throw? And so it happened.
Rick?
Tell us, what was the level of intensity like out there on the floor today? Because it seemed like you really had to stay dialed in, because after every mistake was so crucial just because the way that both defenses were playing.
Yeah, in these games moving forward, Coach says all the time, the margin of error is very slim, and so we just got to make sure that we're doing all the little things, making sure that we're taking care of the ball, and it was intense out there. Miami is very physical, very aggressive, and so we just need to stay composed.
Brea?
I think going off what she said, we definitely have to make a minimum of mistakes. Make sure if we do make a mistake, we have to learn from that real quick. Like turn the page real quick and make sure that does not happen again. And really just, again, the trust factor, just trusting us and trusting that we're going to keep pushing and keep moving on.
Chandler?
Hey, Aliyah, you may not have had your best game today, but your teammates had your back and they played good. You guys still won by double digits. So how comforting is that for you, knowing, okay, even if I'm not at my best because of double teams, triple teams, my teammates have my back and we can still win?
Yeah, it's very comforting to know that everybody stepped up. Everybody had a great game. Everybody on defense, Brea and Lily, guarding Marshall, like they did really well and caused some turnovers that allowed us to be able to run. And so everybody did a great job, and I'm just excited for the next game.
David?
Aliyah, you're no stranger to having a lot of contact in the paint, seeing a lot of double and triple teams. Did Miami throw anything you weren't expecting, or was it just that they were, hitting you maybe a little more than you were used to?
Yeah, I think I was just moving a little too fast.
Other questions for the student athletes? Let's go in the back, third row there.
This is for Brea. Brea, you talked about the trust, and you guys have all played with each other for so long. How important is that trust and that experience going to be moving forward, just to not panic when things get tighter, things aren't going the way you guys envisioned it?
I think it just shows examples like they're pressuring Henny today, and it's the trust with me bringing the ball up. They crashed on Aliyah. It's the trust having Zaya and Henny hit those outside shots. So little examples like that really carries us for games to come, just believing in one another. And that, puts encouragement for me to go knock down those shots. So, that's big for us.
Corey?
For both of you guys, in practice this week leading up to being able to whether it's a bus or plane, whatever you guys take to get to Greensboro, before you step down up there, what would you like to work on during practice offensively so you guys can avoid another performance like you had today?
Brea, take that first.
I think just being consistent with, again, the ball through the rim, whether it's laying up, just seeing, open drives to the lane, when the lane's closed, being able to kick out, ball reversals, little things like that, just watching film and watch myself and us offensively and defensively.
Aliyah?
I think we're doing a great job moving the ball, and I think we're getting pretty good shots, and they just haven't fallen these past two games. And so we're just going to continue to execute like we've been doing, and they will fall.
Go in the front. Go ahead.
Hey, since they're both of y'all, I guess how important was that to be able to have these two games at home, in the postseason, and what was that atmosphere like, just playing in that and hearing the crowd kind of going, and how did that, I guess, get you guys amped up, if at all?
Aliyah?
Yeah, our fams are great. They're super loud, and they keep the energy in the building, and they just continue to pump us up no matter what happens. If they think the ref made a bad call, you'll hear it, and then if you think something good happened, you'll hear it, and so it's just great energy.
Bree? Yeah, definitely. They, always have your back, no matter what, and it's just, the atmosphere gets you going. It gets you pumped. It gets you just, wanting to run through a brick wall. That's just how it feels with having them out there, and it just feels great.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Seeing none. All right, you can go. Congratulations. See you next week. We'll open up for questions for Coach Staley. David has the first one.
Don't know, the players mentioned the scout on defense, the first which assistant had the scout today, and then just was there anything, revolutionary that you threw in the defensive plans just for Miami?
Jolette had the scout. Her first one in about 6 weeks. And then it's I don't think we prepared any differently. I think at this time of the year, you focus in, and you don't want to be the person that has the lapse defensively. I thought I thought Miami tried to take advantage of our bigs by popping on ball screens and spacing the floor, and we were switching a lot of those ball screens, and I just thought we were just really locked in to make sure that we didn't give them anything easy, and that was any player that touched the ball. I thought we did a really great job at just locking in and making sure that we're doing our part on that end and not relying on our ability to knock down shots.
Matt?
Don, on the other side of the court, you started the game, I think, 1 for 14 on layups. Just, it got a bit better by the end of the game, but what did you see there, and what do you have to do moving forward to combat that and fix it?
I just thought that, our players saw, opportunities to score, and I think they got, a little bit, it was open, and it was like they couldn't believe how open it was. So you tend to change your shot for one reason or another. But the layups, I just hope we'll be able to, knock them down. If we can get the layups in, it'll straighten out the field goal percentage. It's because we're not making layups and we're not making outside shots. We end up shooting 30% from the floor, and you're not going to win a whole lot of basketball games moving forward shooting like that, unless we defend like we're defending.
Mike?
John, I don't know if you're aware of this, according to ESPN, holding them to just 54 points these last two games in these tournament games combined, that smashes the record, the previous record of 71. What can you attest just what you've seen defensively from this group and being able to obviously have the defensive performance today, knowing that the offensive side was struggling a little bit?
We got smart players who are committed to defending. I think they hold each other accountable when it comes to making sure they know they scout. I just feel like there's a nastiness to us on that side of the basketball, and we see it. It wins basketball games for us, and we have to definitely pack it because again we don't know if we'll shoot another 30%. If we do, our defense still gives us a shot at still winning a basketball game.
Matt?
Don, just how clutch was Camilla there in the fourth quarter, and how happy were you with how she stepped up on both ends of the floor there at the end?
Super happy for Camilla. I think this is probably one of the games in which she wanted to play. Like, it's an ACC opponent. She used to play in the ACC, so maybe there's something there that we didn't know about. With just maybe it being a rivalry, but once she got in, and then I didn't go back to her in the first half, but I made a concerted effort to go back. I knew we were going to go back and play her extended minutes because one, she was effective. Two, she actually shot 9 times. Like, is that a career high for her? Yeah, so I hope she packs that part of her game because she gives us, an incredible option. And especially when Aliyah wasn't having the night that she normally has, it's good to have another post player step up and command the ball and shoot the ball and be efficient at it.
Rick?
Don, following up with Camilla, we heard Aliyah and Brea talk about how she's always happy. As a coach, would you like to see her play with a little more anger? And I'm thinking about Elena Coates, who always seemed to play better when she was mad.
I really don't care if they're smiling or growling. I just want them to help us win basketball games. Camilla's, that's her. That's her personality. Don't really want to change that. I just want her to shoot the ball a little bit more, continue to rebound, continue to, when they space the floor to guard on the perimeter. And she's done a tremendous job with us. And I just hope her best basketball is started today until we're done.
Augusta?
Hey, Dawn, I wanted to ask you to follow up on the pitch that you were giving out there, head up to Greensboro. It's only about 2.5 hours away, I guess. How much does playing close to home, help create the atmosphere like y'all created here, kind of just moving it down the road a little bit for the next 2 games?
Well, if it's anything like when we were in Greensboro in 2015. Yep. Mm-hmm. So 2015, I thought our fans did a great job at traveling and creating an atmosphere that was advantageous to us. Is driving distance. I think some of our fans had already purchased tickets well before they knew we were going to be in the Greensboro region. Wishful thinking, a lot of times that doesn't turn out the way you plan it. But I'm happy that our fans don't lose money. We're there. They pre-purchased their tickets, and I hope it ends in the way that it did in 2015.
Corey?
Dawn, that you mentioned kind of the unknown of what this team will be able to give you guys offensively each time you step out there. So as the coach, where does that unknown kind of have you mentally? Is there, I guess, where's your confidence level, and how do you guys just continue to work to where you can try to find some consistency moving forward?
I mean, you can only do what you do. I mean, they're not. This is what they'll say. I'm not intentionally trying to miss. You know, they'll say that. I think you just have to continue to play good basketball. Just take good shots. You know, basketball has a way of just repaying you for doing it the right way and being disciplined. You know, if we're not making shots and we're not defending and rebounding, that's an issue. But as long as we're defending, as long as we're rebounding the basketball, those two areas really give us a good chance of winning basketball games. And, you know, at this point, the offense is, you know, a cherry on top at this point.
Kim?
Dawn, when you think about 8 straight trips to the Sweet 16, what does it mean to you to have gotten this program to that place of consistency, and what's the hardest part about being that consistent year in and year out in the tournament?
I mean, the bottom line is players, it's talent. I mean, they make it work. Because when you don't have the talent, I don't care how good of a coach you think you are, you're not going to outcoach somebody that has that talent. I mean, it's the commitment from them. Our players are committed to doing things the right way, or actually doing things that our coaching staff want. Whether it's the right or wrong way, they're committed to it, and it's worked out for us. And hopefully, you know, these players that are experiencing it will continue to create memories that of checking off their goals.
Any other questions from the floor? We got Jeffrey in the back.
Dawn, how much of your offensive struggles today were part of Zaya getting in foul trouble? It seemed like when she was out there was a little more edge to your offense.
I don't know. I mean, Aliyah doesn't shoot 4 for 15. I mean, that's not, you know, I thought probably Aliyah's inability to make the shots that she normally makes. Like we've played through Zaya not shooting the ball well. We haven't played through Aliyah not shooting the ball well. So I think that's a really good sign that we're able to just play through that. You know, but it's always, you know, comforting to know that when you're able to play your starting 5 and the people that play most of the game, when you don't have to make adjustments because of foul trouble, gives you a good shot. But when she had to go to the bench, you got other people having to do things that they haven't been able to do. They haven't shown us that they could do for an extended period of time. So it puts a little bit of a pressure on those players to perform. And, you know, I thought they held serve, and I thought we did a really good job with trying to get Zaya back in and out, and Lily just substituting in that way. I thought Lily, you know, she didn't score a point, but I thought defensively her energy was great. And it's that's how it's going to be. I know we didn't play LA, we didn't play Breezy Hall as much as we normally play them, but at this time, you know, it's situational. We gotta take advantage of where we think we have the advantage.
We have time for one more, and that'll go to Chantel Jennings on Zoom. Chantel?
Hey, Dawn. Congrats on the win. Kind of a big picture question for you, if you don't mind answering it. Parity in the women's game gets better and better every year. I think March is a good example of that. 6 double-digit seeds in the second round this year. Creighton beat Iowa earlier today. I'm just curious if in your coaching career, if there's any specific reason you can point to as to why the parity is where it is now. Is it something on the grassroots level or different levels of investment or visibility? Anything specific?
Well, I think the parity comes with, players are spread out. Really good players are spread out. And it's not just Power 5 schools that are getting good players. I mean, it's everybody. There are enough good players out there that everybody can be successful. And I don't, I'm not really surprised by some of the mid-majors are being able to, upset some higher seeds. They're probably not seeded the right way, and it's because they're probably not Power 5 and not playing the schedules that some of us play. But as good players, great coaches, it's all of our game is, pretty special. And now we're just really starting to see other, the other side of it. I think sometimes we just concentrate on, the hot teams and coaches in the Power 5, and now, the mid majors are, they're rising. And I don't think they're catching anybody off guard either. I think they're catching the people who are, who push the narratives. They're catching them off guard, but they're not catching the coaching and watching our our game grow and be as special as it is.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.